wasn't really prepared to go live. I was playing around with my computer and with a microphone that was gifted to me to see if I could actually make my videos, my YouTube videos, my content seem a little bit more professional. And that didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. But I want to say thank you to Finding Joy for letting me know that you could not hear me. And I didn't like how it looked on my computer anyway, so we're going to stick with the phone for now and figure it out as I go. But I did want to come back in and connect because I don't know. I had to test it out to see if it worked, and then I thought, well, I don't want to just leave you hanging. Know that there's a lot of energy going on, and a lot of, for lack of a better word, I'm going to use Dustin's saying, a lot of upheaval because, well, the Sun conjunct Uranus. A lot of unexpected things, just sort of popping off left and right for many people. Not for all, but I've had a couple surprises myself. Nothing, I'm not labeling anything good or bad, but definitely like, ooh, they're not unexpected though. That's the thing. And maybe that's the gift of having very strong psychic abilities, is that nothing is that much of a shock or surprise. So I'm only going to stay on for a little bit, but I wanted to check in and see how everybody else was doing. I actually was not planning on going live, but that's usually how it goes, right? So I'll stay on here for a little bit and see if anybody wants to come onto the chat and sort of just chit chat about life, about your experiences, about the energy, which has been a lot. And I did purchase a new deck today, the Mushroom Spirit Oracle, for any of you who were listening in on some of the zodiac videos I uploaded today. I used this deck and I love it. I think I'm going to start using it going forward because I have a lot of changes going on in my life, and felt really called back into, at least for right now, reading each of the signs, reading a little bit more in depth into each of the signs. And we're just going to kind of see where this flows, where life is flowing me right now. I feel like a gypsy energetically, like going here and then there. So it's been quite the whirlwind on my end, but nothing new. I'm pretty accustomed to change, and I welcome it. Sometimes I'm not ready for it, but that's all the fixed energy in me. But once I, adapt into the new, I'm pretty well versed in flowing with whatever comes my way. And here's the catch, especially with Saturn at the end of Pisces, is that what have we learned? What have we learned as far as what we put out there, what we give ourselves to, who we give ourselves to? Are we following in old patterns? Do we have healthy boundaries? Do we know our limits? Do we know our bandwidth? Because if not, you're going to be heavily tested on that and your ability to say no. And it's hard. I know it's hard for many of us because the people that are part of the test are people that we have had a hard time saying no to, if you know what I mean. So it hasn't been easy, but knowing the energy that we're working with makes it so much easier to navigate and to understand, like, oh, this is a pattern. This is a pattern. Because it doesn't feel like you're like, I've been here before, I've done this before. And I don't want to do this again. I don't want to keep doing this. If you talk to yourself like that, there you go. There's a good indicator of like, oh, this is Saturn's invitation to say, hey, you don't have to keep doing this. You could choose something different for yourself. Most likely it probably would do you well. Oh, got a lot of pressure in the back of my head. So a couple things that I wrote down, well, since we're here, this morning that came to me. First one this morning, as I really, really embodied and understood that I was breaking a big, huge pattern that I was well aware of. I just didn't realize that it was still in operation. So I was waking up out of that pattern. And that in its own right it takes a lot of energy to course correct yourself when we're breaking patterns. And I wrote, we are not in relationships for the reasons that we think we are. We're not. We are in relationships to help wake each other up out of old patterns and break those cycles, for sure. Hi, Tori. I didn't expect to come live. I was playing around with my computer, and I wanted to see, I've been trying to revamp this channel and make it look more professional. And so I was trying to do a live on my computer just to see what it looked like. And I had somebody gifted me a microphone, but it didn't work. I deleted it. I deleted the live because Finding Joy was there, and she said she thank you if you're out there, but she couldn't hear me, and so I have to look a little deeper into that. But glad to see you. I hope you're doing well. What are the other things I wrote down this morning? Or no, this afternoon. So we're not in relationships for the reasons what we think we're in relationship for, not at all. And this is a paradigm that we are shifting out of, the old relationship paradigm. I need you, you need me, codependency, ownership, all of these distorted ways of, we were programmed into this for lifetimes. And once we start to wake up and evolve and realize none of that makes no sense. Actually, it doesn't work. There's an imbalance there for the most part. But when we recognize that we are in relationships to help each other wake up out of old patterns, it takes a lot of the heat and a lot of the blame off, especially if these are mature, spiritually mature and evolved relationships where we can be honest with one another and we can be vulnerable with one another and we can talk about how we're feeling and that our feelings do matter, our emotions matter. And that goes to the second bullet point that I wrote down today. And this has to do with all types of relationships, but especially work relationships. We are humans. We're not machines. We're not robots. And we really need to check ourselves, especially those of us who are overachievers and overgivers and overpromisers and hypervigilant. That's a pattern from some deep-seated trauma that needs to be looked at. We're not machines. We're not robots. And the more we get in tune in understanding that we're going to shift another paradigm yet again when it comes to the give and take, and that we humans do need to work together, and we need to come into alignment with others that have the same intentions and the same goals and aspirations and the same vision, and to get rid of the hierarchy and the top down. None of that works. We're all finding that out pretty quickly. And also to stop following what other people are doing. Other people's creations are their creations. We need to really start thinking outside of the box. We have a whole new paradigm that we're moving into, and the more of us who can kind of begin with a fresh, clean slate and allow brand new ideas to channel through us and not hold on to these ideas like, this is my idea. No, most of the time when brilliant ideas come through us, they are not ours, they're gifts. And we're meant to share them with each other and work in harmony. That is the goal, anyway. So those are the two bullet points that I wrote down this morning that I wanted to share live at some point. So here we are. How are you guys doing? If anybody wants to comment. I know I played around a little bit with the settings in my YouTube studio on the live, so I do have to go back. I did see there was an option because I know comments come through and I don't see them right away, and there is an option to speed those up, so I might do that. Hello, hi. But I'm slowly but surely trying to revamp and get this channel sort of going again in a more, I guess you could call it, professional way. Because I do take this channel seriously, and it is important to me. It is my baby, and it's hard, it's hard when you're the creator behind the scenes and receiving all these messages. This is what I want to do, but I do have to get behind the scenes and figure out those aspects too. So I'm getting it in gear eventually. I did try with my computer. I did try. And I have to look again to see what settings were in my computer that weren't allowing you guys to hear me, because I feel like it's important to try, at least to try. So let's get a message for us all. Spirit, what message do you have for all of our highest and greatest good at this time? Thank you. I am having a wonderful day. Thank you, Catboy Vixen. I will, hopefully the streams will be grooving a little bit better in the near future. Hi, Tori. I apologize. I had to step away for a second. I'm doing well today. Thank you. How are you doing? I'm doing well, too. I am. I'm having a beautiful day. And lots of change, but again, I'm used to that, and I'm not labeling it good or bad, just more shifts, more things changing, I embrace that. I don't like it when things are stagnant. Okay, so the card that we got is healing. Scarlet Elf Cup, number 20. We are all going through some form of healing. Like I said, especially relationships, and our knowing our limits, our boundaries, understanding why we truly are in relationship with one another, and not the reasons that were taught to us and passed down to us from our grandparents and their grandparents and all of that. But really, we're here as mirrors for each other to learn, to help each other break free from the programs and conditioning that has limited us and kept us in this old paradigm how we relate to one another. I'm so over it. Actually, whenever I'm faced with somebody that is still playing a part, I can see the mask right away. I want to rip that mask off their face, but I know I can't. I know that as long as I just stay in my authenticity, it will either intrigue them or intimidate them. It's usually how it goes. Like, what is this chick all about? But I can't be anything but me, truly, anymore. But I do see all the roles and parts that I played to keep myself safe and everybody else happy, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm staying true to my energy, myself, and my heart. So this is a brand new deck I just purchased today, Mushroom Spirit Oracle. And so I wanted to read this. I wanted to at least give a card reading. I don't think I'm going to stay on here for very long, but I have still working on the zodiac readings. I think I've got 2 more to go, and then I'll have them all done for this week anyway. So let's see what this says. A time of healing is here or on its way. The Scarlet Elf Cup heals fresh wounds, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. Will you drink from its cup? The wounds you carry may be fresh, but everything can be healed given time. Be patient, but also make sure you don't let the wounds stay open and fresh. Not only will you lose energy from this, but you will stay stationary until the gap is closed. You can't fill yourself with what you need or move forward if there's a leak. Where are you losing energy? Where are you letting your wounds stay open? You can learn to grow and heal when you take the time to understand the lesson. Once the lesson is learned, you no longer need to keep repeating the pattern. So if you're stuck in a repeating pattern that you can't seem to break, ask yourself, what do I need to learn from this? So interesting. This is what I was just talking about. Sorry. When we start to look at the world and people as teachers, we move from victim to student. Look at the situations without the emotional charge and see from a higher perspective. Scarlet Elf Cup may also be asking us to help heal the wounds of others. Are you feeling called to service? Are there bridges that need mending? Where can you create healing in your life and with those around you? Every random act of kindness has incredible healing properties. That's exactly what I was just talking about. So, I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised. But thank you, Mushroom Spirit Oracle. Thank you, Spirit Guides. Thank you, Tori, for being here, and whomever else is out there watching this stream. I just wanted to come back on because I know, isn't it beautiful? I love it too. I just wanted to come back on because I was on briefly, like, fumbling with a microphone in my computer. And I knew there were people there, but they couldn't hear me, so I wanted to just come back on and at least say hi and give a little bit of reading. That reading just resonates with everything I was just talking about. So something to ponder on. We're breaking patterns, really heavily breaking patterns right now. And with the Sun conjunct Uranus, that energy is helping us out of things that we have not been able to move out of. So it can be eruptive for some. It can be like a shock to the system. Also, in combination with the Uranus energy is a fixed star Algol, which is the head of Medusa. So some people may be losing it, and it's okay, but that energy is pretty volatile. It's almost as if, you know, there's like always a quiet person, just quiet and like to themselves or peaceful, never, you know, You never hear anything out of them, and then all of a sudden they snap and it's like, wow, that's this energy. We have to find safe containers to release our emotional energy. And so just to be mindful of that, if not for self, then for your surroundings, like, oh, that's that energy we were just talking about tonight. So yeah, I mean, I find it always helpful, but usually most of us don't see like the gift in this Uranus, Sun conjunct Uranus with algal energy until like in hindsight, like, oh, I'm actually glad that happened because now it's gotten me to this new place that I'm much happier and much freer. So, anyway, everything serves its purpose. I'm going to sign off here now, but I just wanted to stop in, check in, say hi, and I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Tori, and take care. Bye.